But most of the contracts I've ever looked at, they're only paying out 6%, not 15%. Like that's a very meaningful number that I can stack on top and earn a way better spin on what I've been doing in the past. There are people out there that do this bank on you life insurance thing. Like it's something that you look up and you learn about, and it's people like, oh yeah, this is how I got started. I'm like, I got this money that I've made. I'm gonna put it into real estate anyway. And I've learned before you do that, put it into the insurance contract first, and then strategically over time pull it out and deploy it into real estate and basically get double winnings.
Yep.
So, but most of the contracts I've ever looked at, they're only paying out 6%, not 15%.
Yep.
So this is a huge, like that's a very meaningful number that I can stack on top and earn a way better spin on what I've been doing in the past.
Yeah, and so what's great about indexed insurance, so whole life insurance is obviously much more secure because you're pretty much guaranteed your 4 to 5, 6%, and that's called the dividend style of life insurance. I like to make a little bit more money. I'm willing to put a little bit more effort into growing my money, and so we do an index type insurance where you're in the S&P 500 strategy, so you can make much higher returns. However, there's a trade-off. Some years we make zero. So what happens is when the stock market plummets, our account value freezes. It's called a 0% return guarantee that you cannot lose money.
So you can't go negative.
You cannot go negative on your account value.
Upside, but you're not going to lose.
Yeah, and so we can grow up to 10% where the financial advisor can be like, oh, well, sometimes the stock market does 15 and 20. You're limiting your growth, which is true because we're only going to, with a 0 floor and a 10 cap, you're only going to make around 7.5 historically. However, when you add that match strategy in, now we're getting that up to an additional 5% inside there.
Yeah.
And you're making on the good years up to 15%. On the down years, you're still keeping that security floor blanket.
And are you still at least at 5?
Yeah, and now you're making up to, on average, even long-term with the zeros and the 15s, you can make up to 10, 12, 14% rate of return depending how long you're in it and how much you're leveraging against it. And then we go do the outside investments to make our big money.